First, I just want to welcome everyone this morning and thank you so much for taking the time to share your morning with us and with the foundation. Obviously, I want to also extend a really warm welcome for all of those residents who are watching us this morning on Channel 900. To all of you, thank you so much for being here. As many of you know, my name is Lene Cruz, and I am the director of your foundation, the charitable arm of Capital Lakes. I really wanted to start this morning by saying thank you. I am so grateful to all of you for supporting Capital Lakes and the foundation through yet another difficult year, But even though through all of the challenges that we faced this last year, together, we truly did enhance the living experience. And I am so excited to share with all of you the stories of what you made possible in 2021. Before we get started, I did just have a few logistics. So if you are a resident of Capital Lakes and registered for this event, along with your Greenbush Bakery donut, you should have received a copy of this annual impact report for this year. Now, if for some reason you didn't receive it, physical copies can be found outside of the foundation office on the C-level of Heights, at the main desk, or at the reception desk in assisted living. If you are a community member living outside of Capital Lakes joining us today, you can find an electronic copy of this report on our website at www.yourclfoundation.org. And of course, for anyone here who would like a physical copy mailed or delivered to them, please just let me know and I can make sure to take care of that this week. I also want to extend a thank you to our forum hosts and foundation ambassadors who made this morning's event possible. A big thank you to Marion and Jack Bowles, Penny Fitzgerald, Marty Fox, Natasha Killian, Millie Moffitt, Eileen Nettleton, and Marge Tobias. To each of you, thanks for your hard work and for making this possible for us today. Now, I am pleased to introduce the newly elected chair of the Capital Lakes Foundation Board, Connie Bacher. Connie has served on the foundation's board since 2018 and was recently re-elected by the residents of Capital Lakes to serve another 3-year term. Prior to moving to Capital Lakes in 2016, Connie spent her career as an educational administrator focused on libraries and instructional services. She has been an invaluable asset to the board and an important link between residents and the foundation. We are truly fortunate to have her leadership, and I hope you'll all join me in giving her a warm welcome this morning.
Thanks, Lene, and welcome everyone. It's great to see so many of you participating in what I am absolutely certain will be our last virtual donors forum. I want to begin by introducing the other members of the foundation board. Fellow resident members are Jack Bowles, Norma Madsen, Marjorie Tobias, and Carol Toussaint. Additionally, Capital Lakes staff members Tim Conroy, Natasha Killian, and Christy Vodder sit on the board. And finally, we are so fortunate to have caring and involved community members who contribute their time, energy, and ideas to the foundation. They are Dr. Diane Farcetta, care manager at the Center for Aging Research and Education in the UW School of Nursing, Patrick Carroll, manager and healthcare consultant at WIPFLI, specializing in the senior living industry, Dr. Barbara Bowers, professor emeritus at the UW School of Nursing, Dr. Tracy Schepfer, professor, UW School of Social Work, and Betsy Abramson, now retired after a long career with the Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging. They bring valuable experience and interest to our board. Along with the board members, this morning is also Steve Johansson, the outgoing chair of the foundation. Steve served on the foundation board for 6 years, 5 of them as chair. Steve helped grow the foundation significantly over his tenure and really brought his business experience to help professionalize our organization. Steve, thank you so much for your service. We'll miss working with you, but deeply appreciate all you've brought to help to Capital Lakes and the Foundation. Excuse me. So we wish you well. Thank you. And to everyone today, thanks for all you do for Capital Lakes and the foundation. The past 2 years have been challenging, to say the very least. We could add a whole bunch more adjectives, but I'll keep this short. It's been truly amazing during this time when we often couldn't see each other, how our community came together. 71% of you renewed support for the foundation this past year. Through direct gifts and realized Legacy Society commitments, nearly $250,000 was given to support our community. Most importantly, your donations translated into a profoundly positive impact for those who live and work at Capital Lakes. So this morning, we are excited to share with you stories of the impact you made possible. First, thanks to all of you who helped promote health and wellness throughout the pandemic. When the Wellness Center had to close and we were asked to stay in our apartments, one of our neighbors, Joan Burston, came to the foundation with an innovative idea. She asked the foundation to consider purchasing hand weights so we could all continue to exercise and stay strong in our apartments. Thanks to you, the foundation was able to honor that request and ultimately delivered 225 pounds of weights and 38 exercise videos to residents' doors. The foundation also organized a challenge, having us record our use of the weights and holding weekly Zoom meetings to report progress. At the end of the challenge, prizes were awarded. The Work Your Weights Challenge ended up being a fun way we could get in extra exercise while staying connected with each other through the height of our restrictions. The program was so popular that the foundation followed it with a Step into Spring walking challenge. Participating residents recorded how many times they walked each week. Each week, a new route was suggested, leading many of us to explore new parts of our neighborhood. As the weather permitted, we were able to walk in groups. The photo is a Friday walk I took with Pete and Ruthie Taylor and Ellie Jacoby. This one led us to James Madison Park. At the end of the challenge, we could finally meet in person to celebrate success and share our favorite walking routes. As a resident, these opportunities meant a lot to me because they provided a daily routine and kept me motivated to never miss a day of using the weights or taking the walk. Even when the weather meant taking a walk was walking the hallways of Heights. Again, thanks for the creativity of ideas, the participation of so many, and the donations that enabled us to both maintain a workout routine and maintain contact with each other during the pandemic.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Connie. I hope all of you can see that, the ideas generated from residents often lead to the most popular and impactful programs the foundation sponsors. The Work Your Weights Challenge really exemplifies that. And I wanted to share this email Marsha Langston, one of our residents, sent to me. She says, "Thanks for all you've been doing for all of us. The Work Your Weights Challenge was especially fun." So, while the majority of those who participated in the health and wellness challenges lived in independent living, thanks to your overwhelming generosity, Your foundation was also able to support residents across our continuum of care. As you can read in your annual impact report, we supported music and memory for those residents living on Ivy by purchasing simple music players and over 200 minutes of music. We also provided funding for a Bloom and Grow therapeutic garden for those residents in our health center. I'm pleased to introduce to you today Victoria Scarpita. Victoria advocated for the Bloom and Grow garden as an intern, but COVID disrupted her plans. Now working at Capitol Lakes as our memory support coordinator, she came back to the foundation with this grant request in 2021. I invited Victoria to speak with all of you today about the general benefits of therapy gardens, and then specifically how our Bloom and Grow garden made a difference for our health center residents. So thanks for being here, Victoria.
Thank you, Lene. Offering the Bloom and Grow gardening program has been beneficial for Capitol Lakes and the Therapeutic Recreation Department because they did not previously offer an organized program for gardening activities. Our facility does have the space available to successfully implement this program, including a sunroom used for group activities, at least one large indoor sitting area that gets plenty of sunlight, many outdoor patio areas, and other miscellaneous well-lit areas around campus. I started this project with the hope that by getting the wheelchair accessible raised garden beds that the foundation helped us purchase, the program would appeal to more residents. We also purchased new planters and carts with wheels so that they could be moved around for easier access to residents. Since Capitol Lakes is a retirement community, we serve people of various ages, abilities, and needs. Despite these different needs, they can all benefit physically, emotionally, cognitively, and socially from this type of program. These benefits include improved mood, relief of stress, increased socialization, reminiscing and storytelling, increased communication, decrease in loneliness and isolation, improved attitude, feelings of accomplishment and hope, learning new skills, strengthened muscles, and improved balance. On behalf of the Health Center Therapeutic Recreation Department and our residents, thank you to the Foundation for your generous gift that made the Bloom and Grow gardening program possible. While we had to make modifications to the activities I had originally planned because of continued COVID protocols, I know that we had several residents from the Health Center who really enjoyed planting the garden beds in the spring and helping maintain them throughout the summer. The garden beds are located on the PL level patio, which is a great location for the gardens to be enjoyed by residents doing therapy or relaxing, and staff members also. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you so much, Victoria, for your advocacy and for all of your work with our residents. You know, I know it's been a challenging year, so we're grateful for all you and your colleagues do for our residents in the health center and in assisted living. Thank you, Victoria. I did want to share with all of you today some comments we heard from health center residents about the Bloom and Grow garden that Victoria did such a great job spearheading. One says, "When I am on the patio, I enjoy the flowers and weather. It makes me relaxed." Another says, "I enjoyed planting the plants and watching them grow." So I just want to pause here for a moment and really emphasize to all of you that this garden never would have sprouted or taken root if it had not been for your support. You know, you really are the reason that we were able to do this project, to honor Victoria's request, and to bring so much joy to our residents in our health center and in assisted living. So thank you so much for that. As always, I am also grateful to so many of you for all that you do to help your friends and neighbors in need through the Benevolent Care Program at Capitol Lakes. You know, for those who may not be aware, the Benevolent Care Program tries to ensure that no resident needs to leave their home due to financial hardship. Thanks to your incredible generosity, we were able to expand our grant support for this program by 10% this year. This is the fourth year in a row we have been able to increase our grant support for benevolent care at Capitol Lakes, and that is all because of you. Our resident services director, Natasha Killian, knows firsthand how vital this program is for our residents and their families. Natasha had graciously agreed to speak with all of you today and share her story, but unfortunately she's not feeling well and can't be here today. However, I hope you'll indulge me. I wanted to take a few minutes and really just share with all of you what she had relayed to me about the impact this program has for the residents she serves. So, in talking with Natasha, she really emphasized two main points. The first is that this program gives real peace of mind to residents and their families. And, the second point she made to me was that the benevolent care program, ultimately ends up benefiting our entire community. To her first point, just knowing that you aren't going to have to pick up and move in your 90s or after sometimes living at Capitol Lakes for decades, not only enhances the living experience, but frankly protects the quality of life for our residents. Her second point, I think many of you are probably already aware of, for those of you who live at Capitol Lakes, that this is a really tight-knit community and people form very strong bonds here. And so in that way, the benevolent care program really keeps friendships together and support networks intact. I can't really do justice to Natasha's personal story. And for anyone who's interested, her story is on our website. You can go there and check it out. But she relayed to me a resident that she worked with who she was very, very close to. And, this resident received help from the benevolent care program. But what Natasha said to me was that, this resident really gave that back tenfold to the community. She brought joy to so many people. And I know Natasha and myself are just so grateful that because of you, this resident was able to spend the last years of her life here, as Natasha said to me, sharing cookies and spreading smiles. So again, on Natasha's behalf and mine, thank you for helping your neighbors and our friends through your support of this program. And as you can see here on the screen, this is an email I received from a relative of a former Capitol Lakes resident who has since passed away. This person wrote to me, before he passed, my father lived at Capitol Lakes for 20 years, and the benevolent care program helped him control unneeded stress as he aged. So, in addition to helping our residents dealing with financial stress, you allow us to support our staff when they are faced with a financial emergency. Our financial assistance in times of hardship or faith program has always provided an important safety net for our staff, but has taken on a much greater significance during the pandemic. I'm grateful to have Christy Votter with us today. Christy is the Health Center Administrator here at Capitol Lakes and also helped develop the faith program in 2016. Christy, thank you so much for being here today to share the impact this program has for our team.
Thanks, Lene. In 2016, my colleagues and I wondered what caused our staff to miss work. We learned that several were dealing with housing issues, facing eviction, or already depending on homeless shelters. We developed the faith program to help with housing costs and take away that worry. In addition to rent assistance, we have been able to help with costs such as utilities and transportation to ease worry and hopefully prevent a financial shortfall from becoming a crisis. Prior to the pandemic, the foundation dispersed around $9,000 in need-based aid. Since April of 2020, we've given nearly $60,000 in emergency financial support to our team. In addition to rent, transportation costs, and utility bills, we were able to cover the employee portion of the health insurance premiums so no one lost their benefit during the public health emergency. It's been another tough year, and I'm so grateful to all of you for your support, which allows this program to continue. Our team has given all of themselves through the pandemic, and I know it means a lot to them to feel they are supported in this way. I personally thank you for allowing us to continue to provide hope for our staff in times where they've lost hope. The relief on a person's face when they know they still have a place to call home or a reliable car to get them where they need to go is the best part of the program. We also treasure the thank you notes like the one you see here. On behalf of the Faith Committee, thank you.
Thank you so much, Christy, for sharing that with us and really for all of your work that you do to shepherd this program. I know Christy mentioned the thank you note that you saw on the previous slide, and I know Christy can attest, as she said, I mean, we get so many of these notes from staff. And I just wanted to read you the note in case you didn't have a chance to see it on the screen. This person wrote, "I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for even taking the time to look at my request. I am so appreciative and forever grateful for all that you guys do to help staff in need." And then I also received an email from a staff member who says, "Thanks to the foundation for helping me and my daughter keep our health insurance during my furlough. It meant a lot to me and was immeasurably helpful." I think the foundation's board has really long felt that perhaps the number one way we can enhance the living experience for our residents is by recruiting and retaining the best staff possible. The Faith program is a huge part of making Capitol Lakes a place where people want to work, because as Christy said so eloquently, I mean, it shows our staff that we care about them and that we're really in this together. But we are also so proud that with your help, we are also able to offer tuition assistance for our student workers to keep them at Capitol Lakes through school. As many of you remember, in June, we came to all of you with a request for Mark Schaefer, who is an RN in our health center. Mark had asked if we could double our tuition assistance rates as a way to say thank you for the sacrifices that Mark and our team made through COVID. So we had a goal to raise $20,000 in June to honor Mark's request starting in the fall semester. Thanks to so many of you here on Zoom and to so many of those watching us on Channel 900 this morning, we not only hit that goal, but we doubled it, raising over $40,000 in support of tuition assistance at Capitol Lakes. So I am pleased to let you know that we have now doubled those rates. Our student workers can now apply for benefits ranging from $250 to $1,000 per semester. I would like to introduce you to one of our tuition assistance recipients, Haley Carter. Haley, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. Good morning, everyone. So I would like to say thank you. Graduate school is hard enough, but taking classes, working full-time, all in the midst of a global pandemic presented a whole new set of stressors. Studying at home, on a screen, with my cohort, attempting to solve the world's problems seemed lonely at times. I had one thing no one in my class had, a community at Capitol Lakes cheering me on. I was fortunate enough to be eligible for the tuition assistance program and also have a job I adore. Having the support from the foundation throughout my program made me feel like what I do matters more than I will ever know. And getting an advanced degree is a privilege. And I have an entire group of people rooting for my success. Although all of the world's problems cannot be fixed in a semester, and all great things take time, one great thing I can count on is the financial support from the foundation towards my master's degree of social work. Having peace of mind when paying tuition is less burdensome now than my previous degrees. I want to thank you all for your support. It not only impacts me, but also the residents at Terraces. So far in my program, I've learned better therapeutic interventions and communication styles. These skills allow me to be the best version of myself every day at work.
Well, thank you so much, Haley. I think I speak for all of us when I say we appreciate all you do for Capitol Lakes, the excellent care you provide to residents in assisted living, and that we're just really proud to support you in your educational endeavors. So thanks again, Haley. I also just wanted to share with the group what Mark had to say when it became clear that we would be able to honor his request and double those rates. He says, I just signed up for my fall classes and was heartwarmed to hear of your generous donations to double tuition assistance. It feels like you guys have our backs. You know, on reflecting more on what Mark said, I feel like that really could be the theme of this year. Because in such a significant and profound way, you truly did have the backs of our staff and of our residents across Capitol Lakes throughout 2021. You know, the support you showed the foundation this year is really humbling. And I don't know that I can ever adequately convey how grateful I am to each of you. I only hope that through this program, you can catch a glimpse of the positive difference you made possible in the lives of those who live and work at Capitol Lakes. You know, to our donors, you are the ones that are enhancing the living experience. For anyone that's interested, you can find a list of some of our annual donors in the annual impact report on our website and on our donor boards throughout campus. To each of you, thank you for supporting the foundation and for caring about your community. I also want to take a moment to thank our Legacy Society members listed here who have included the Capitol Lakes Foundation in their wills or estate plans. To all of you, thank you for enhancing the living experience for those who will live and work here decades from now. You know, your commitment means that those people who will make up the Capitol Lakes community in 2041 will have the resources they need to face crises that we can't imagine. So, you know, last year in the video I sent in place of our forum, I said that our challenges were not behind us, but that I was confident we would tackle whatever was ahead of us together. You made that statement so true this year. And I know that with your continued support, you'll prove me right in 2022 as well. You know, I am hopeful that we will have a better and more normal 2022. And I'm just going to echo what Connie said at the beginning of this program, that this time next year, we will be physically together again in the Grand Hall. But, you know, regardless of COVID, I also know that there will continue to be needs from our residents and staff. But because of your incredible generosity and really unparalleled commitment to this community, I have no doubt that we will continue to make life better for all of those that are a part of the Capitol Lakes family. So I want to really thank all of you again for being here this morning and for all that you do. I'm looking forward to working with you in the coming 12 months to continue enhancing the living experience. So I will say, just to wrap things up, normally when we are all together, we'd save these last remaining minutes of our program for some mingling and informal conversation. But Zoom just does not lend itself well to that. So I think we'll say goodbye for this morning. But if you find yourself with specific questions for me or the board, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can find the foundation's contact information on our website. Again, that's www.yourclfoundation.org. Or if you're a resident, please feel free to stop by my office anytime. Again, the foundation office is on the sea level of Heights, right across from the Henry Street Cafe. But otherwise, I just want to thank all of you again so much for sharing your morning with us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your support. And I look forward to seeing you in person one of these days real soon. Thank you.
Good.
Thank
Right.
you, Lene.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate it.
Let's hear it for Lene. Isn't she awesome? Aren't we lucky to have Lene?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
It's a wonderful
Thanks for
presentation.
everything.
Yeah, there's not an idea that's been offered that Lene hasn't followed up on. It's awesome. Look forward to seeing you all in person soon.